Buddy, and welcome to a new game news roundup. Here we are. We got some big Halo news. That's right. There's three things if you're not aware of some stuff. So we're going to get straight into it. 343 Industries, who's been the main developer of Halo since Bungie left Microsoft, has been rebranded to Halo Studios. And multiple Halo games are in development using Unreal Engine 5. They're no longer going to use the Slipspace Engine. They have made the switch over to Unreal Engine 5. And of course, as I said, multiple Halo games are in development. That's the big stuff. There's more nuances to it. If you're wondering, okay, it's a rename, but it's still the same studio. Yes, it's a rename. However, leadership has changed a lot in the last 2-ish years, pretty much. The head of 343 Industries, pretty much for the entire life of the studio, was Bonnie Ross, but she left in 2022, and since then, Pierre Hintze, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, fingers crossed I'm pronouncing that right, apologies, took over in 2022 when Bonnie Ross left. If you're wondering who is Pierre, he's the guy who led the team who fixed Halo the Master Chief Collection, which, if you remember, Master Chief Collection was a broken disaster at launch, and they weren't even going to bother to fix it. They did just enough band-aids where it was kind of running, but he's the one who led the team who fixed Master Chief Collection, added a bunch of new content, a lot of new features to it, to make it this is good again. Awesome. This is nice. So he's now leading the entire studio. He's been leading the studio since 2022. And the franchise development director, again, for the lifetime of 343, was Frank O'Connor. And in 2023, Frank left and Corinne Robinson took over. Frank was basically known as the second in charge of 343 behind Bonnie Ross. The head of Transmedia and Entertainment at 343, Kiki Wolfkill, left in 2023. We don't know who's replaced her. New general manager Brian Koski took over in 2022. Chief Operating Officer Elizabeth Van Wyck took over in 2022. Studio Design Director Max Slager took over in 2023. Just to name a few things. So yeah, there's been a few changes. A new lead game designer took over this year. Multiplayer creative director left in 2022. There's basically been a huge turnover in leadership at 343 Industries, which is now, again, as I mentioned, is now officially Halo Studios. There's a whole article here I could read. It's basically a tech demo. They're calling it Project Foundry, basically letting the developers have fun and test out Halo in Unreal Engine 5. And we can see some images here. Work in progress content rendered in Unreal Engine 5. You can see kind of what Halo in Unreal Engine 5 could look for. This is not a new Halo game. There's no new Halo game announced. There has been a rumor of Halo Combat Evolved, or Halo 1, remake in development for the 25th anniversary, of the game, / the 25th anniversary of Xbox, which would actually be in November 15th, 2026, with other rumors that the next-gen Xbox is actually going to come out in 2026, so maybe 25 years of Xbox, you get the next-gen Xbox, along with Halo 1 Remake, which I think could be a good way to get into getting the teams working together to get used to Unreal Engine 5 versus making something completely new. Remake Halo 1 from the ground up. Maybe redesign some of the levels which aren't the best and add some cut content. That would be nice. And you can see here, which is also pretty cool, one thing we haven't seen since Halo 3, right? I don't think Halo 4, 5, or Infinite, and Reach, and Halo Wars 2, I don't think. Yeah, none of them had the Flood. This is the Flood taking over here. And then you can see here, Master Chief, with the Halo 1 pistol in his hand, the Magnum, fighting off against a elite with a sword. And yeah, here's a close-up here. You can see the higher fidelity of the pistol here. The Halo 1 pistol, which, as you know, was a little OP, a little overpowered. Which is probably why everyone loved it so much. So yeah, I'm like, yeah. So the rumors of a Halo 1 remake could just be this Project Foundry, this little kind of tech demo for them to test it out, or maybe this is actually what they're working on, and they'll officially announce it next year, maybe 2026, if the rumors are true. And you can see here Master Chief here, holding a sword, looking pretty. Yeah, it's very Halo 1-esque, for sure. And they did release a whole video here, which we might as well go into it if you haven't seen it yet.
Chris Matthews.
Basically announcing the changes at the studio.
Take one, Mark.
So.
I was told that I can just be my authentic self, Chris.
And this is another also look into Project Foundry. And there's Pierre.
There's so much to do and so much fun to be had when you play Halo that I feel like I never run out of things to do.
I love intricate stories that take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters.
And it does seem like
what made Halo successful.
You see Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST,
the soul that we want to bring
Reach,
forward, and what's
the OG Halo
games, and how do we set our studio at best to go deliver on that?
Delivering.
We knew we had to make a change in order to take us into the future.
When I first heard about Halo moving on Unreal Engine, my first thought was, this is going to be a really hard secret to keep.
Which, if you're wondering, it has been rumored for a while that they were swapping to Unreal Engine 5. And funny enough, I actually paused it at the right time here. Here in the background, this says Halo and Master Chief Collection celebrating 10 years on, I believe that's 11/11/24, that date. So maybe the Master Chief Collection will be getting some new content or some update on November 11th, 2024. In a month, pretty much. Just over a month at this point. We'll see.
Are going to be excited about the future of Halo.
So yeah, big announcements here. At least me as a
that are afforded us
Halo
by
fan.
Using Unreal.
Before
we
I'm
wearing an
had to split our
appropriate
focus
t-shirt.
and thinking about building an engine, supporting it, being really kind of a tech company and a studio at the same time.
And as she mentioned there, the issue before was that they were a tech company trying to update the latest engine and developing a new Halo game. So they no longer have to worry about the tech side. They could just probably I'm assuming they'll have help from Epic Games. But, yeah. So just being mainly focused on developing a Halo game versus instead of having to spend the time to update the engine with the latest technology.
We've made the change to shift.
Hey, what's up, Smiley? Big fan of the Unreal Engine. I am a fan of this change.
In ways that people have never seen before while still being true.
I am definitely a fan.
Is.
Of the change to Unreal Engine. I think it makes sense.
Show ourselves how far we can push things using Unreal 5.
New studio art director, Chris, came to me and said, hey, I have this crazy idea.
He said, hey, there's this thing called Project Foundry that I want to do. Let's make it happen.
Project Foundry.
Foundry specifically is based around the same concept of the Foundry in Halo lore. It's the place where Halo rings are born.
It's supposed to say Halo lore. Place where Halo rings are born. But yeah, here... Alright, I guess we can turn that off. But this is...
It's not a game,
Halo
it's a research project.
Research project.
Studio, so we can prepare ourselves for the next steps of making Halo games.
And... Remember Halo Infinite? Remember the detail level there? Look at this difference. The amount of trees, the amount of foliage, the amount of detail and everything. The shininess of the... I forgot the name of these structures. It's been a while. But, yeah. The detail, it's just been like, And you can see down in the bottom left there, Halo Studios instead of 343. But, you've never seen a Halo game with this level of detail. And the different biomes, which Halo Infinite had had the one biome. And Flood, as I mentioned.
The original Halo franchise was a graphics showcase. It was best in class. That's what Halo was when it first was released, and that's
so
what
they
Halo
want to make a Halo game with top of the line visuals, but also making it still feel like Halo. Hopefully, have the Halo physics.
So once Project Foundry
which can be a little
approved,
ridiculous,
we took the entire creative team and we ideated on 3 locations, something old, something new,
letting the
something
team
really alien.
Have fun.
We had the Pacific Northwest, which is sort of traditional Halo
biome.
Halo
look for one area.
As much foliage in there as humanly possible.
Going
to
crazy
make it
with the details.
Really feel like you're on a hike in the Cascades.
The Cold Lands, which was the second biome that we took on.
Ice,
it was more
ice area. If you think about Halo 1, we're talking about like Assault in the Control Room, and I guess 2 Betrayals, which is just Assault in the Control Room, but backwards. Pretty much.
showcase
different
where
biomes.
we could play with shaders, we could play with deformable
different
landscapes
details,
and
everything.
terrains. Unreal affords us more opportunity
The
than
detail
we've ever had in
compared
the
to what we've
past.
seen in the Halo games.
On the
night and
surface,
day.
it might just look all
It's what
like
you'd hope
snow,
with Unreal Engine
but
5.
how many layers of things
And
combined?
if you see that, that is specifically a Covenant Banshee, not a Banished Banshee we saw like in Halo Infinite or Halo Wars 2. Specifically, that is a Covenant, because it is purple, Banshee.
Things combined to really give that winter look.
Which gives me credence and hope that the Halo 1 remake is real.
Any land.
And then this is the flood taking over. Look at the detail of everything.
I wanted to give our team the opportunity to really express an alien world, a really alien world, taking something way
the flood
further
basically just
than
took
they may
over
have actually
everything.
done in previous.
Watch the
Halo
movement
games.
here,
What's impressed
the level of
me about watching the...
You know what, let's just go back a second here. Just, the improvement is night and day. The texture quality,
games.
translucency, making it more fleshy.
The work in Unreal is how beautiful
ugh,
everything
which is
looks,
perfect
how
for the
incredible the environments look. I don't think we've seen anything quite like it
Look at the detail. Just think about the level of
in Unreal
detail.
Engine before.
Fortunately, we have a studio that's really passionate about Halo, about the look and the feel, and I think there's a lot of hunger to really collaborate, to move forward together.
Foundry was an initiative that touched on every part of the creative process.
Letting the creative
Everything
team
from concept art, VFX,
go have fun,
characters, vehicles, and weapons
crazy
to make
detail.
the future games of Halo.
Creating an asset.
And then boom, again, the Halo 1 Magnum, but look at the detail and the metalwork. Even the scuffs. I mean, sure, you shouldn't be playing the game, you might not notice it that much, but all this level of detail in every
this design, now we can really dig into material foundations. What is it actually made of? How is it physically accurate to the world? Now we get to take all the wonderful legacy.
I mean, just the sword, man. The energy sword, absolutely fantastic.
Bring them to life and bring them to today's standards.
We are really excited to
that
be
music
not
there.
just working on multiple projects, but also expanding our studio.
As a lifelong Halo player, I think the game's only going to get better when we get those new, unique perspectives and people bring in their expertise and passion for the Halo franchise.
We are looking for new talent as the projects that we're working on kind of get further and further into their development cycles.
It is great to be part of a team that's growing because you can kind of see that force multiplied as people come in and take on challenges. And
I mean, they have multiple games in development,
Imagine
so you'd
a
hope.
place where you have the commitment that this is what we want to do, Halo games, and create those experiences. And you can express your talent, your creativity, and your professional ambitions.
This is
in
Studio
that
Head.
place.
We're looking for designers, we're looking for
Halo
artists, we're looking for engineers.
It feels like a new beginning for the studio in a lot of ways, and I think that's pretty rare.
New
and
beginning,
I think we
well,
arrived now at a point where you see the beginnings
well, pretty
of
much
people
all new leadership.
to start to believe in the process.
There's so much momentum that we have right now, and focus and clarity on not just what we're building, but why we're building and kind of this next phase of Halo.
The worlds that we're building, the stories that we're going after.
The potential at Halo right now is huge.
Halo Infinite was the last remnants of how we made Halo games in the past. That was our recipe.
Saying Halo Infinite was the last remnant of how they made Halo games in the past, but now
And what we are doing right now, we change.
I mean, just the foliage detail, everything.
Their recipe.
And it's still, despite the high quality of the visuals, it still looks and feels Halo. I mean, we'll see combat and everything in the future. Hopefully in the next couple of years. But obviously, they didn't want to announce any specific Halo games development yet. Just that multiple are in development. Halo Studios. And if they're able to pull it off with multiple Halo games, I'm hoping that they end up doing kind of what Capcom has been doing with Resident Evil, because they've been they remade Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, alongside releasing Resident Evil 7 and 8. I'm hoping we can see something similar, so for the 25th anniversary of Halo 1 and Halo 2 and 3, for each of them, So 2026, maybe a Halo 1 remake. 2029, I think for a second there. Halo 2 remake in 2032. Halo 3 remake. And then at some point, maybe in between or whatever, a Halo 7. Because, you know, you had Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, which is basically kind of Halo 6. And then maybe Halo 7 that continues the story. And maybe we'll get some other Halo games that take place in other parts. Maybe we will get a Halo Wars 3 or another game kind of like Halo 3 ODST. Or maybe a horror game where you're not even playing a Spartan, but you're dealing with, like, you're in the flood and you gotta be more sneaky, more stealthy, but you still have the guns. It's still kind of actiony, but it's a little more spooky. Like, that would be cool. It'd be kind of cool just to see the potential of what we might see in future Halo games. But anyways, I wanted to go over this. I figured we watch the video, discuss things a little bit here. If you're excited for the future of Halo, let me know in this comment section down below. What are your thoughts on the switch to to Unreal Engine 5? What do you think on that? And what do you think of the new name? Name, I think, is fine. If you don't know, the name 343 Industries, after we've been taken off and all the issues with the Halo games since they took over, it's been like, the name's kind of tainted, so I think that name change was smart. I'm not sure if Halo Studios was the name to go with, but I get it. The logo itself, I don't know. It's not the Halo font. Being Halo Studios, I thought they would just go with the Halo font, but, you know, it's just a logo. It's whatever. I am personally excited for what we might see for Halo in the future. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not going to get so excited we're going to be hyped. I'm going to be like, yes, it's going to be Halo. It's going to be a new renaissance for Halo. Who knows? Maybe. But, you know, cautiously optimistic. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe for some more gaming news, gaming sales, and gaming industry information that I find interesting to cover in a future video. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.